episode of The Gap Fest. Anywho, the camera was facing here through, so I'm not sure what was in there. But thank you so much for joining us for another episode of The Gab Fest. And today, I forgot to go to our little number. Ooh, this is gonna be a shock for you.
Can I just have a disclaimer, please? Just pick one for me that won't put me in a difficult spot like last week.
Yeah.
Oh, go away, Lorraine.
Okay, we'll be easy. This week we'll say, okay, skip.
Okay.
If you want to.
There is no fun in it.
Okay. But okay, you have to do something. Then you have to tell her to do something.
Yeah.
She's going to get on the table and dance for us or something.
I'm with that one. I'm okay with that.
Welcome so much. Welcome to the Gap Fest. And we are going to jump right into today. But before we jump into it, we do the get to know me tag in the beginning. But I thought before we get to the get to know me, let's know who is in studio today. And we are so excited to introduce our guest today. Woo!
Woo! I'm waiting for the names.
And today,
drum roll.
We have our Pilates instructor today, and it is Candace. Do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, Candace?
Okay, the big question.
The big question.
Yes. All right, so I'm Candace. I am a Pilates instructor. Haven't always been a Pilates instructor, but I've always been fascinated with fitness because I have a dance background. So movement is always something that I've been passionate about. And I discovered Pilates probably around 2010, actually. And I loved that it was a sort of different modality of fitness where you're running around, because I've never enjoyed running or that kind of aerobic time.
I love that.
Okay.
I can resonate.
Anka wants to jump, but she doesn't want to run and she doesn't want to sweat.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't mind the sweat. I just I've started to enjoy running later on, but it wasn't my initial first choice. So I liked Pilates because it was a little bit more of a slow-paced kind of exercise regimen, but you're working a lot. You're getting a lot of strength work in. It's also very relaxing and calming, and it had some sort of dancing nuances in it. I don't say dancing because maybe people are going to think about like really.
So now we want to know later. She's giving us a lot of information right now.
So thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to the rest of the conversation.
Yes.
Anka, Lorraine.
Standard furniture.
Yes. I'm not going to go watch our previous shows to get to know us. So
Yeah, you'll get to know us very well.
You'll get to know us very well. You'll know all kinds of things about us. Too much. Too much info. Okay, so we're going to go straight into the get to know me tag. The ladies get to choose a number. I ask a question, and we go with it. Okay?
Personal.
You're going to go first. You're throwing on under the bus.
Shame,
like
let's not.
that.
Let's
do
lead the way. Yeah.
Lorraine, let's go
Yes,
first. Choose a number. 1 to 100.
But our host was never first. But anyway, number 60. Yeah.
Number 16.
60.
Oh, 60.
Yeah,
Okay,
you're
why are we
really cool.
choosing number 60 today?
I don't know.
Just.
It's not a favorite number today. Aspirations today.
Okay, yeah,
that
you know
feels
that
60.
this is just a level of one of those questions again, but we can answer it seeing that it's sweaty. We are speaking about
Should I worry?
the whole health movement and
Oh, you
whatnot.
know what? May
Your
I,
question
before you
is-
ask her, if maybe you feel like that question is for you, take it.
I was put on blast just now. It is your question, Lorraine.
if you see someone sweaty, is it a turn on or a turn off?
Off.
A turn off.
Yeah.
Why? You don't go to the gym and think someone's good looking.
No.
No.
Okay.
I cancelled my gym membership. So no.
In the movies, when they show the people, you just see the sweat and like,
No, that
If they're
doesn't-
coming out of the ocean and the water's flowing, that's something
That's
different.
not
'cause-
sweat, ne?
Yeah, it's clean, but the whole idea of
it's salt.
smelly and
Still salt.
yeah, but it's clean salt.
That sweat like
Clean salt.
yummy, 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 yummy.
Yeah, no.
Sis.
I catch you the number.
Give me 25.
25. What's that song? Mumbo Mumbo.
Number 5.
What's your biggest romantic fail?
As wees so
No, but it's a fail.
It's alles romantic goed.
What's your biggest romantic fail?
Did I have a romantic fail? Yo, guys, pick another interesting one because like I'm extremely boring. There's nothing there.
Is that then not a fail?
That's a fail.
Is your whole romantic
To put me on blast.
is the whole romantic phase era then not the fail?
It's a fail. 0-0.
Look, there was obviously a time when there was like, you know, when you meet your husband, before you meet your husband, that when you guys just meet each other and that, you know, that romantic thing is a thing. But then afterwards, then kids happen, then life happens, then romance just takes
Are
a
we
back
blaming
seat.
kids for the romantic
No,
fail?
we're just blaming life. Like, you know, we just life in general.
We
Like,
told
he's
her
trying
what
to
to
get
do.
there.
She's not listening.
She's not listening.
Did you
She
get the
got
stuff?
homework last week and she
I
didn't
did.
do homework.
You did?
I did.
Okay.
But it doesn't last. It's like, hi, boy, this is just a lot of work. Just take it off.
It's fine. So we must give her another
Nothing
one.
sexy. Give me
Okay,
another one.
choose the
after
number.
Candace.
I don't want to give another one. It's going to take too much time.
55.
Number 55. Okay.
Hope it's something too
Hope it's
intrusive.
something. Do you ever feel like you're in the mood but don't say anything? I don't even
The
know
mood
what
for
that
what?
means.
Ice
It's
cream?
not saying.
In the mood for.
In the mood for Pilates.
Okay, let's just say in general.
In general.
If
Like,
there's ever something that you're not in the mood for, do you ever go along with the flow or do you stand your ground and say,
I'm not doing this.
I'm not doing this?
Are you a
Oh
team
no,
player?
I actually recently was been like, no, I'm not gonna go with this. If I don't feel like it, yeah. This past week I had a situation where it was like, do I in the mood for this? And I'm like, no. And I was like, nah. And I just
So she says no.
How do you
Exit the
say? How
situation.
did you say no? Sorry, no.
Like, was it like a dodge? Was it like a dodge? Like a,
Did you lie?
I'm busy,
No,
you
did you
know?
say, oh, I actually have somebody to train that day?
No, it was no. There would be some truth in what I'm saying, obviously, but it would be normally just an honest exit. That was what it was, and then and I'll make up for it kind of situation.
Candace didn't want to tell us.
No.
So like,
Oh, shame, it's the first time. Why would you have put on blast here? Give it time.
I went to my number while you were talking. I chose number 70. Just I added a 0 to my favorite number. That's how I got to 70. Okay. What do you consider a red flag when you're in a relationship?
Oh, that would take me a whole day to answer.
choose one. Because
There's a lot of
There's a
things.
lot of-
But what's the biggest red flag? What's the biggest red flag in a relationship? For me, first of all, biggest red flag when you're in a relationship already and you're trying to holler me up. Then
Holler
I'm
me
like,
up, oh.
if you're going to do that to her,
Yeah.
you are definitely going to do that to me. So I think that's the biggest relation, because it says when starting a relationship. So I'd say that if you're already chatting to someone else or you're in a relationship and now you're trying to see how I feel, you're going to do the same thing to me. So
Yeah.
Yeah, there's going to be an exit on you
there's
too.
going to be there's also going to be another chat on that side. So I'd say that's my red flag. Toot, 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 toot. Okay, we're going to jump right into it, right? Today Lorraine I was laughing at Lorraine's status in the week when I sent her the topic. I'm like, because I was trying to figure out how we fit in Pilates, and we do trending topics. You can't just come here with a topic and be like, what now? So trending topics,
This was
and
current
I
today.
was and I was like, what are we going to ask? Bring to the panel today. So today we are speaking BBL is out. What now?
So why did you laugh
So
at my
I
status?
laughed at your status because you posted the poster and then your caption was, if you don't know what BBL is, watch the show. We'll find out together. So I was like, look at madam, busy advertising, taking her own out. Because usually she gets angry, not angry, but she'll always say, Vange, today you're sending me, I don't know what this topic is. So this time she took it a bit easy.
Yeah.
She went to go find out first and then posted.
Guys, ons is besig met boeke. Ons het nie tyd vir social media nie.
I shame, but I think a lot of the times I'm like, Yanni, Vange, what's going on here now? But at the same time, it keeps you current because then you can actually have a conversation across the board. You can have a conversation with the younger guys, you can have a conversation with the older guys. So you must still read your books, But at least know what's going on the
Ja,
TikTok.
assignments is due, girl. As die tyd hier, daar is regtig die tyd hier, hoor. Jy teens tyd vir jouself, and sometimes was jy nie eens nie, because
Oh, okay. You will know all areas.
So must
But
your
thank you.
sweaty be attractive.
ek gaan my sê buite nie.
But anyway, before we started, you were saying when you saw BBL, what was your
For the
first
topic.
thoughts?
Yeah, I was like, what on earth is that? Like, I've never heard of that. Like, it's like, I mean, like we were talking about earlier, acronyms and, you know,
Yeah.
coming. Even right now, I can't even think of one other than LOL. But that kind of thing is what I first went be back later or something like that. And then when I Googled it, I was like, oh, okay.
It's in my field.
It's all
Well, technically, that's what they're trying to
Trying
play
to
off.
achieve.
They're trying
achieve
to surpass, like to skip your
your
Yeah.
field.
Your
Skip the process,
field.
basically.
Yes, and just
get to the end
result.
result.
Yep.
Just get the results. Okay.
It's like so mooi kar, ne? Het lyk mooi van buite af, maar is vrot binne. Because now, as jy nou al die goed te doen, you still unfit.
Yeah.
Because fitness
That and
is
these
more
other
about
health
health.
complications, yeah.
Yeah. So
No,
if
not
you're
even
watching
that,
and
like
you do
just-
not know what BBL is, BBL is, I first had that butt at Lorraine's face, and then I was like, I wonder if she's going to be offended if I put a
No, you were
ass next
supposed
to
to.
her face. So
You were
I put it next
supposed
to my face just to keep things alive. But
that thing.
Oh, I didn't see
Oh, I
that.
didn't see that. Oh, okay.
So if you go look at the poster, the poster
needle.
literally tells you what BBL is, and BBL is an abbreviation for Brazilian butt lift. Okay, so this is a surgery where a doctor transfers fat from your abdomen, your hips, or your lower back, even your thighs, and puts it in your buttocks. And this is to get the squat girl look. But we know, I don't know if you guys have seen people where you kind of actually question, is this natural?
No,
Yeah.
it
Where
doesn't
you're
look
like,
natural.
Oh man,
Yeah.
what's going on here?
There's no like a natural curve, like a little slope
It's
and then a
just-
curve. It's just a
Pops out.
yeah, and it looks like it's like hanging in the middle of nowhere. It's just balloons
And my
hanging.
thing where I start questioning it is like, usually they say it's weight, but then the person will have this waist that
It's
is the
tiny.
size of a 28. And then all of a sudden it goes over to a size 42.
So I'm asking, how do you find clothes? Because
Yes.
It's difficult.
yeah, for those of you, you guys know I sell clothes and all of that. So the one time I did have a lady, however, this was a natural occurrence. She literally needed a 2XL bottom and a small top.
Yeah.
Right?
Most
But
South
her
African
waist-
women
yeah.
are built
Yeah,
like
most
that,
South
the
African-
blacks, yeah.
But her waist was extremely
Even
small.
colours.
But her waist was extremely small. So it was, in account for her hips. And it was difficult. And she was complaining, I can't find anything
But on
to wear.
account of her hips.
Yeah, on account of her hips. But like she can't find anything. But remember, if you're doing this thing, your waist, they obviously take fat from your waist.
Your waist and
so
your thighs.
how
And
do you
your
find
hips.
clothes that fit?
You don't, so you always have
Because it's
to make it
proportional.
small,
Yeah,
ne?
Yeah,
you
but
always
that's
have to
why-
take it in.
I think that's why also, so just jumping into the finance part of it, right? Yeah, in South Africa, the starting price is 70,000.
70,000.
And then it could range up to
130.
130,000. And then this includes your hospital and the anesthetist, but it doesn't include VAT.
So that is a hefty price to pay for something that's not that will melt away, because 20 to 40% of that fat goes away. It gets absorbed into the body after the procedure. So it's not a guarantee.
It can last for 5 to 7 years.
Yeah.
And then there is other ways as well. So you get the way where they take the fat from somewhere else, and then you get the actual implant way, the same way you would do a boob implant. So it looks the same. It looks like the chicken fillet.
Yeah.
And they put it in, but that's when you can remove it whenever you want to and take it out. But you have the scar the same way you would it with a boob implant. And then the way with the fat is, if you wanted to remove it, it would be a liposuction. But
Because it's
in
a
the
two-way
butt.
it's a two-way surgery. The whole, because they have to remove fat from other places in the body, so they do lipo in those areas, and that fat that you get there is then injected into
So
the
what I was
the
going
buttock.
to go on to with your clothing one is, if that's the range of the surgery, surely you have then the finances to make custom clothing.
So this is rich people problems, people.
It is,
Yeah,
it is
it's
though,
not
but it's not
us.
sustainable though.
It's rich people problems for
Yeah.
real. But you know what I found really scary is that some people in the beginning stages of starting this out, a lot of people actually passed away.
I just wanted to say.
Because the people, it's either if
Infections.
your surgeon also doesn't do it right, they put the needle too deep in and then it infects. And
There's clots.
there's clots,
that
there's
forms.
so many things. And some people actually passed away, but it didn't stop anybody from continuing going
doing
to the process.
And also there's a black market, obviously, as usual, for everything.
For everything,
So
yeah.
I don't know, there's a show, Doctors, or the other one with the two brothers, where they actually fix what other people...
Botched.
Yeah,
Oh no,
botched
but I
surgeries.
don't believe in botched because I know there's a lot of celebrities that came out on YouTube that said they were actually botched by botched.
But other people's bums come
Just
out
no
wrong.
one.
Then the one is big, the one is
higher than the
small,
other.
the one is like higher than the other one.
yeah.
Hi guys, you can't perfect what God perfected. Shame.
Yeah.
Lost,
You know,
lost the
remember,
foot
it's not natural. Anything that is placed, I mean, even the nails we do, we have to go back every 3 weeks or 2 weeks to maintain our nails. Nothing you add to your body will stay because
It's
it's not
long-lasting.
natural. It won't last. You constantly have to maintain it. There is a chance of being botched.
Yeah,
It's a
no
price to
lashes.
pay, not only just
Oh, set
pricing
yourself up.
from...
Sorry, say that again.
So, well, there's a price to pay, not just the price and obviously of the surgery, but like of the effects that you're going to have on your body in the long term. Because it's maybe that, yes, the fat changes or something like that, but then, like you said, the risk of infections and that kind of thing as well. And sometimes trying to correct something later might be more costly than actually,
Yeah.
you know, not doing it at all and trying to pursue it in a natural way.
Hi guys.
But
I found it so funny because I was reading also when they ask like people that want to go through the surgery. So I watched a few YouTube videos, you know, when they do the whole reviews
Yes.
and people send the cues. The questions, and then one of the questions was, so how long after the surgery are you allowed to go to the toilet?
Hi, Bo.
And
yeah, no.
so they were suggesting if you can, you need to stand for at least 3 weeks
3 weeks.
because
So how,
for it to
But
how's
you
this
can't
working
even
out?
really squat because they also saying you can't really squat. I think, I don't know after how many days.
I think
or
isn't it
weeks.
So how
3
does that
days or
work out?
something?
In my mind, I'm trying to figure this
So
out.
I know.
So they're saying the longer you can stand to use the toilet, the better, because then the better the results.
Then don't use the toilet, go stand in the field because you have morse. I'm not sure how
Thank you,
water it
Lorraine.
is.
Thank you for our visuals, so graphics we've got over there.
I'm just looking at it like
Realistically.
Realistically.
Ah,
So I
snap.
found that very interesting that you'd put yourself through that. You're also not allowed to wear anything that's tight for the first few
Yeah.
weeks, because if you wear anything tight, like no jeans at all, it will suppress and you won't get the proper results. And depending on where the pants has its, what do you call the seams
Seams,
and
yeah.
stuff, that's where you'll have your bumps and lumps or something like that, because it's pressing
Yeah,
into
no.
it. So it's not forming correctly. So I thought that was also quite interesting, the whole BBL.
Yeah, and also you can't fly immediately after the surgery, that specific surgery, because
Yeah.
you can't sit for too long.
You can't sit-
And also, most flying does cause clots
Compression,
to
yeah,
follow,
oh, yeah.
to form. You have to walk a lot and stuff like that on long haul flights.
Yeah.
So it has implications.
So
Man, that's
practical.
the feel
but that's-
put them in.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Why would you put yourself through that for something that's not sustainable? Because it's not sustainable. And the reality of the matter is you're doing it for people that's not paying your bills, that's not going through your emotions and pains and feels. So you need to really ask us why? Why
doing it?
is your
Why are
why?
you doing it? Then also you get to the point of why did this become a trend in the first place? Because if we saying BBL is out, why was it in? So you ask the question. For me, I'm gonna ask like if you can put your 100 rand in right now, not even a 10 cents. Put your 100 rand in right now. There was a time on social media, right, when this whole gym influencer, I must be an instructor, this whole leggings, people started wearing leggings as an actual outfit. It became really big. What do you think? Because everybody is squatting, showing you how to get the best ass and all of those things. What do you think that had? How did it have an influence on this being something that
Yeah,
became a trend?
trend.
Because the same way makeup became a trend at the time, every
Yes.
single person was now recording themselves at the gym, doing squats from the back so you can see
Yeah.
what it looks like.
Yeah, I mean, gosh, it's very, I don't know, for me it was very cringy, like, to see that. Like, I don't, seeing a lady kind of just
Because you're
squatting.
in the
It's just-
profession.
Yeah, I mean,
What's your thoughts?
for me, seeing that alone squat, like I know sometimes, like even with like the leggings that they've been making, and it looks very defining, and
Yeah.
like even the way
The
it's,
ruche in the middle.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
The camel toe, they call it.
Yeah, it was like I found like it looks almost like you're naked. It just really looks so
Yeah.
close to it, and I don't know. For me, it's like very cringy, and I think it's it's good to look good. More importantly, to feel good and feel good for the right reason. But yeah, I think that the gym aspect did put it again. I think gymming as well as influencers, they can put too much emphasis on the result and trying to look the part as opposed to trying to feel the part. And when I say feel the part, it's more like thinking about your health in a holistic way,
Yeah.
as opposed to just defining this part of your body. It's fine to look good and to show yourself out the gym, gymming and whatever. I'm not sure I would, really video myself squatting in really tight tights. But there's somebody looking at my butt that closely. I'm like, no, not even I want to do that. I cringe when I see some of my videos. But I don't know. It's just not beneficial at the end of the day. You want to try to think about your body more holistically than you just want to think superficially in one area, because also even if you are doing it the squatting way and you're just doing like 1,000 squats a day or something, which is not practical ever, you're going to cause imbalance in your body in a different space physically, whether it's overworking a certain area or whether it's going the surgical route. It's still, at the end of the day, balance is so important. So I think it's fine for people to have that, for the gym trend. That's great. Like, it's good to promote fitness and health and that, but then also don't zoom into one area and just, that can obviously.
Do you think though those influencers, they were built like that already, and then they jumped on the whole influencer thing because, influencing just went crazy at a certain time. So do you think they jumped on it and then we all thought, okay, 12 squats can give me this butt?
Yeah,
Or
100%.
did they work on it and that is really the butt you get? That's a question I want to ask. Is that BBL butt a butt that you can achieve while exercising? Or is that very unrealistic?
I think it's depending on what you do. I guess there is genetics involved in how your body is formed, and so sometimes maybe people do have a nice firm round shape, and that's great for them. But I don't think it's possible for everybody to look that way. There's other things at play. As far as how you're built in your bodies and things like that. We know that, the black and colored ladies, we have the hips and the butt and everything. So that's something that's very typical. So can that be applied across the board? I don't think so. So no, it's not necessarily achievable. Not say it's not achievable.
But it's not to the
it's
extreme.
The extreme, yeah. Can you firm up your butt? Because it's two different things you're doing. It's one is you're injecting yourself with fat versus you are toning the muscle.
Yeah.
So it's completely two different tissues that you're focusing on. So you can imagine if you're strengthening a muscle, then the muscle is more powerful and it's supposed to help you.
So how does one build muscle, Geef?
But we're gonna get there now. We must gonna speak about the gymming part now, but we want to first stick to BBL. So, Anka, Nicole is saying keep the romance alive.
Aisha, we do have romance. We just don't do it the way everyone
Thinks that you're
thinks
supposed
it's
to do it.
romance. Yeah.
And then Kimon says, "Hi, beautiful ladies, you make my Friday."
Hey, girl.
You also make our Friday because you're
Thanks
always
for
the first to
watching.
comment.
Yes, thank
So
you.
going back to Anka's favorite now, Anka's favorite topic. If you are a gap fester, you
need
will
to-
know this is her
You're not
favorite topic.
You're not dropping the sarcasm.
So the number one reason why BBL became a thing is because our beautiful family, the Kardashians.
It irritates the daylights out of me.
But I like them.
Kardashians, they brought BBL into this is what beauty is. Beauty is thin waist, big butt, I don't want to say hips because it's going this way. As much as from the front in a perfect dress, it does look really like someone's
Shaped.
shaking you. But it is the BBL from the back. And they are the family that brought this into being such a craze, because there's so many people from South Africa that even flew down to Kim Kardashian's surgeon to actually get some of these surgeries done. Anything that Kim has, everybody is trying to do it. So Anka,
I wonder did you get commission?
tell us why you are so angry.
It irritates me that everyone just blindly follows these people, and even they don't know why they're doing that. The only reason why they keep on changing things, chopping and changing things, is to stay up there. They create a scandal to stay up there and to stay in mainstream and keep their bank accounts flowing. Because if Kim wakes up today and decides the wind is blowing in the wrong direction, then she feels like the wind is going in the wrong direction and I need this side of my leg to be halfway, then everyone goes that way. Or I must have one hair randomly standing up. Everyone does it. They don't know why. And it doesn't look natural. It really doesn't look natural. And the complications and stuff, people don't even think about the complications that go with these things. I mean, there's maintenance that goes with these things. And also, if you don't get the correct surgeon, like you were saying, your backyard surgeon, because people just have the superficial need to want to stay in the limelight, the superficial need to want attention constantly. Because now the trend is out. Hoe gaan jy nou maak? That woman has the money and the means to go reduce whatever she has. Hoe gaan jy nou maak wat nou jou geldjies, jou huis verkoop het en jou kar verkoop het to just get the surgery done?
Do people sell their houses?
I don't know. I'm just saying people go crazy. People do crazy things out here.
I got big butts.
But I cannot lie.
That makes sense.
And what the other thing is what people don't understand, that fashion isn't for everyone, but style is. Really, there's so
Miskien
many.
as 'n bad style girl.
That is styling. That's a fashion trend. Hence, it's out now.
It's the same like with the eyebrows. The 60s eyebrow versus the 80s eyebrow
And then the
versus
so
that
brow,
brow
and then
versus
there was a
heavy
squiggly,
arch and the
a braided brow at some stage as well. People were doing these things to weddings. Why?
And
Why?
bleaching.
the
remember
bleaching
what's
eyebrow.
Oh no, that's a horrible look. Take it from someone who doesn't have eyebrows. It's a horrible trend, guys. We've been trying to keep the eyebrows
What's
out
with my
here.
eyebrows?
I didn't even do mine today because Candace here is more natural. I'm like, I'm gonna be team Candace.
Yeah,
While
yeah,
you
yeah.
guys are also natural.
I'm
I
always
shame-
without
swear.
makeup on the show.
So I shame,
Oh,
guys.
so it's like-
Those who know me knows I'm never without makeup. So.
No, my eyelashes just grew overnight.
Yeah.
I'm so natural. So natural.
You must
At
tell
least
us
you
what
didn't
you
have
did.
to go under the knife for that.
No, under the knife.
Tell us what you did. Tell us what you did so that we can learn more.
Met die lashes.
Just
Yeah,
put
did you
on
put-
eyebrow.
No,
You
you
put
must net lang slaap.
All right. I hear you.
Obviously,
The
you
longer you
didn't sleep
sleep.
No, you must up. Her first client is what, 5 a.m. in the morning?
Yeah.
Nee, girl.
Oh, you see these things now, Nick.
Yeah.
You see these things.
Not getting
From what
enough
are you
sleep to get the
running
lashes.
from?
From what are you
I
running?
like the Kardashians, guys, and not because I want to follow the trend. I'm so secure in who I am. Like, ek het amper vandag gekom sonder 'n bra, né? Amper, ja. En toe dink ek, wat as die camera moes nou daai kind as jy bietjie koud kry maak, dit was hy. So I got those, I get my
The
gesê
chicken
die laaste
cutlet
keer hy
things.
Yes.
sy stick-ons.
Yes.
Ek maar die stick-ons.
But the leggings even come with that for your butt. So
Yes.
you don't have to do the actual BBL.
Yeah.
You buy the leggings that you put on under your clothing that has the sponge inside.
Maar sy spons dit sterk genoeg vir die stywe jeans because net hoe gaan dit so platterig ek as jy 'n kussing draai.
I think it is, the shape is a bit more stubby.
It just gives you extra. I mean, I know of people that wear 2 pants just to give themselves shape and all of that. And I think it just makes it, I shame people are going through the most out here. And I mean, the saying goes that if you don't have it, it's your own fault. Everything's on the market.
Everything's on.
Like
So the
literally
same way
everything.
we blaming the Kardashians for bringing BBL.
Too late. Because it
to
was
light.
there.
It was there. They are also the reason why apparently a BBL is out. So TikTok has told us BBL is out because all the Kardashians removed their BBLs. So
you
know,
last year now, you're old school now.
you old school now.
My
So
got me your cut. Was any more of the natural girl, nee, if you're saying all.
she does. She
They
did
all
at
had
some
some
point,
work
she
done.
did have. It looked like some work
Really?
that was being done.
None of it's natural. If you look at it, they have unnaturally small waists and they have a
Guys, let's be
extreme
honest,
curve.
even Botox is not natural. The fact that we think an actual knife is
I
what
was-
is the difference between surgery and that.
I found it
You're
funny
not
because
aging properly, like naturally.
I found it funny because while I was doing some research with this whole Kim K thing, right? And then there's this lady, she has this whole commentary channel on, what celebrities do and what's in and what's out and whatnot. And she speaks about Kim and the BBL. She says, no, it's not natural, guys. This is why you shouldn't always follow celebrities. But her whole show, the whole way while she's talking, you can see she's got Botox in her entire face because her lips not moving. She's speaking like this. But she's saying why you shouldn't do what celebrities are doing. And it was so
Because
funny.
even the lip filler is out now.
Yeah.
People are removing their lip fillers.
Oh, that's a horrible trend that I did
I
not
don't
like
need
at
it, ma'am.
all.
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
I never understood lip fillers based on the fact that after somebody like went for the injections or the filler or what, it always looked like somebody beat them.
Yeah,
to death.
yeah.
And then it's like, why
Fillers-
would you walk around like that for
Yeah.
like 2 weeks
Or
and
we
then
duck back.
And it almost looks like the skin is about to just pop because it looks like it's
Yeah,
stretched
it's
and
so
like
stretched, and there's
Yeah.
no lip line.
Yeah.
And for me, that's the even when the trend came in, the whole Kylie trend, the Kardashians, where they had the lip liner like way above the lip line, and then they fill it in. It just looks like your lip is swollen. It doesn't look natural because you have got people who have naturally full lips, and you can see that it's naturally full. But then you get the people that you get see if there's no lip line, it just looks so unnatural. Why do we have an obsession with just not looking natural?
natural. So TikTok told us. that
TikTok is
because
busy,
they-
ne?
TikTok is busy. TikTok told us because the Kardashians are removing. So there is a lot of pictures from, especially Kim and Courtney. Kim
Chloe.
and Chloe. From last year, their pictures versus
Yeah.
their pictures now. The change is drastic. You can't even say maybe they lost weight or something like that, but the change is way too obvious, and it shows in the butt, in the hips, and for us to believe that Kim starved herself for
that dress.
the Met last year, or what was it? It's a bit like, seriously, who do you think we are? If you know me, I eat once a week or not once a week, but I literally eat like once a day. If starving could do that, everybody would be starving
Skinnier.
to be skinny.
Given genetics is the thing, like you mentioned earlier, like if I don't eat a certain way for a good while, then I instantly lose weight. And
Yeah,
you
but
can
to
see
extent like that and then pick up only in your hips and your
So-
butt,
so
but
that-
you only starving your tummy.
so that's what the lady was saying, that this lady was commenting on that with the dress and trying to fit into the dress, and then her hips and trying to lose. So there was an element of dieting. However, it just really pertained to the top, so that there's like no spillage of skin or whatever, how these celebrities go. But there's no way you could have dropped the bottom. There was no way. So, and the way they say it was drastically, and if you look at the changes so drastically, there had to be lipo, there had to be
There had
surgery
to
or
be
something.
something because
Yeah.
it went from October to January, February, and there was that difference. Even if you are losing weight, I had a personal trainer. 3 months, I was still had cellulites on my legs. So it's not possible to do it in a month.
No. And also, well, you shouldn't negate that these people like really they just have all the money and time and shift their schedule around or whatever. But still, it's not, you can see it's not natural. And if you look at the way her shape looks now, it's got this natural slope thingy going, like, it's allemaal net 'n bietjie van 'n landslide,
drop.
and then a little bit of a drop, and then a little bit of a curve, and then it goes back. It's not just like a balloon, It looks more natural now, but there's still that element of
There is a lift.
Yeah.
But like I said, with everything, I once tried to do the whole, that when they inject the air bubbles for your cellulite to go away. And they told me I had to be a certain age to do it. But this is like a few years, many years ago, where they then said you had to be a certain age. But you can inject like these little bubbles.
Okay.
And it kind of
Flattens
creates
out.
so it's literally, if you picture it, it's like bubbles under your skin.
Oh, yeah,
So it's
I
taking
should
away
read that.
all
folds
those
the-
bumps.
Yeah.
And it folds that. And you have to be a certain age, but the price per bubble or per
bubble.
injection, whatever you would call it,
It just sounds like a lot. It just
hectic. And I was like, are we going to this level where we know these people who are doing these surgeries still sit on Facetune and still move the eye to the side, and they still moving the butt to
Airbrushing.
the side, they still airbrushing the cellulite out, they're paying so much money for certain procedures, but we still face tuning. And then us normal people think that's the beauty standard. So my question, like, for you guys to throw in your 10 cents is, why are we allowing, as women in general, allowing specific people to tell us what the trend is? Because even if I'm naturally thick, it was a thing of like, oh, I'm in now, I'm in.
You're
Because
always
this is
in.
out, this is what's in. But
Yeah.
now,
Oh my
because
God.
they call it, they literally say, BBL is out, the skinny white girl is in. So that's the trend that is now. The trend is actually called skinny white girl. So it means the no butt, the no boobs, like, you know,
hey, I'm in finally.
You are in shame.
the skinny white
It
girl
took it
is
long
now
enough.
the skinny white girl.
And you are natural. You are
No,
in.
just but it was a thing because when we were in high school, the skinny girl
skinny
look was
girl
a
look
thing,
was in.
and the minute you were fuller, it was like fatty this or whatever they came in, and then I did like the fuller girl trend. I honestly did, because for the longest time that was me trying to eat. Can I just have some curves out here? You know, because the people are like, oh, but we're not so skinny like you, and I'm like, no, but you make the clothes smile. And the other, it's true. You like sometimes when I put something on, it's like your leggings was a besom stock, like a little broomstick wearing it. But at the end of the day, I think we're also in the. You can go back there just now, but we're also in an era where literally everything goes now. So yes, why are we
allowing it?
why are we allowing certain people when everything now is acceptable?
Because now what's going to happen is I'm in because the thick thighs and the boobs were in. But now what happens, skinny girl is in. So now what happens to my identity? And I go into this whole crisis about, oh, I need to lose weight. Now you
And people are going
you
on fat
phoning
burners and stuff.
Candace,
Well,
I
that's
need
good.
to lose weight now.
That's
Yeah.
good for your industry, I should say.
I mean, it is, but like the thing is, it's obviously letting a trend define your, because you're allowing it to define
Who you are,
basically, yes. And it's really not going to be healthy from a mental perspective, because you can always compare yourself against the next person and
Yeah.
be like, this is the trend now. You know, it's either going to make you very proud, like, oh, now the skinny girl is in, and yay for me.
Finally.
And then, you know, they're sort of like oppressing other people that are a little bit thick. And then vice versa. It's you know, we should be more open to celebrating our individualities
Ourselves.
as opposed to comparing ourselves, because we are all, you know, unique. Made in God's image, all, you know, unique
Yeah.
people, and so we should celebrate that. So and I think it's just causing a lot of, you know, mental health issues. It's whether it's jealousy, with people going to the lengths where they're actually having surgery that is, in a sense, maybe can be reversed if possible, if you've got the funds, and even then, is it actually going to take you right back to your pure natural form? Or
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
because now you have the cuts on your
You got
body.
scars.
yeah, exactly.
and
So
all
it's
that.
scarring,
And
so
all
it's not
that.
really truly going to get you back there. So you have to really think about that as well. I think it's you have to, like you were saying, you were very secure in yourself, Lorraine. Like, you have to have that about who you are.
Who you are.
And the thing is, you're not born like that.
Exactly.
Something happens where you start learning about yourself. You become more confident
Yeah.
in your personality. I feel like once you're confident in your personality, then the other things start to become a bit more easier. Because if I'm confident to walk into a room and accept me who I am, if I speak like this, like, I don't like my voice. But if you walk into a room and people tell you you're a good speaker, it's like, okay, that's my one thing. That then someone will say, you smile nice, and you're like, huh? But this gums, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's certain things that's
Your own worst
physical thing. Your
enemy.
own, yeah. But like, then once you start to get to the habit of, this is who I am mentally,
Yeah.
the outer appearance is much easier to go along with the flow in terms.
So we can actually basically conclude, in a sense, that a lot of us suffer mentally.
Yeah.
Because it starts there, as
Might
you
not be
guys
the
have
same
alluded
thing,
to,
but
but
we're
it's
all going
mental.
through something.
Like, so get the mentality right, and then everything else will flow.
Yes, renew your mind.
Right?
But that's what we
Renew
were
your
saying.
mind.
That's what we were saying last week. That as a woman, if you are not confident in who you are, you constantly compare yourself. You
Always.
constantly compete. You'll constantly. And the reality of the matter is, you'll never be fulfilled.
Yeah.
Because look at that now. So you spend your hundreds and thousands of rands
You
to
have
get
no
this
house.
done. Now, thank you, Lorraine. So you go through all of this, but now you have to spend another hundreds and thousands of rands. You have to
take it
sell now
out.
another house to go take it out. You know, because
No,
you'll
now
never.
you must go take out the bond.
Now you have to take out another bond now, yeah. Because what happens now is that you'll never be fulfilled and there's always going to be a new trend. I mean, we can see that in the fashion
Always.
industry, like if you just have to go into the malls. This three months from now, we have a complete different
Style.
trend again. You know, so but that's different because you can literally just chuck it out or give it away or whatever, or leave it there
If
until
you
it
have
comes
the
around again.
finances,
Yeah.
because even that works on you.
Yeah.
Now I bought this black jacket, but next week black jackets are not in. Now I'm sitting, what must I do with
Yeah,
this
now
black
it's neon
jacket?
pink.
This black
Yeah.
jacket was 1,000 rand. You know, depending on where you are
Oh.
in the.
And the reality of the matter is, what I find interesting is that there was always a 25-year cycle of trends. So everything always came back into fashion. I mean, there was the paddle pushers. The paddle pushers were back in the
Yeah.
60s. You get what I'm saying? And then it came back, and then it went out again. Now you don't really see that. Now you get the capri pants, which is like all of these type of things. But we live in an era where everything goes. Because I absolutely love my bell bottoms, right? Bell bottoms are back, and yay, great. You get what
I
I'm
don't
saying?
like them.
I love them.
They
I
are
love
I
okay
must
if it's high
find-
waist.
Oh, we
and
discussed
that's
that,
the thing.
man.
So I found my bell bottoms and I was so excited. I was so stoked. My favorite bell bottoms.
I'll try
and
one.
they're extremely low waist. How I wore that, I don't know. Because it literally
But the
just,
low
just,
waist
just
is in
close.
fashion as well.
No, but that is the extreme weight.
Remember with
just,
the G-string that
just,
came?
yes, those ones.
Those
Yes, those
G-strings
ones.
are
So
back
I'm
in
like,
fashion
how?
also.
How did I wear this back in the day?
So now, Pilates and mental health. We must buy mental
Yeah.
health. It's good for
Yeah,
for
I
that,
mean,
right?
it is, absolutely, because one of the benefits of it is in terms of breathing, just taking a moment to breathe. If it's something that I've picked up a lot with people that I train, is, the stress levels, because everybody's got very high demand jobs. It's in life in general, whether it's kids, whether it's a heavy, hectic, high profile job or something, there's just so much stress and that people are holding in and they're not able to release it. So just the act of being breathing mindfully, that is, I find even that is a relief, just laying on the floor and laying there on a mat. Doesn't even have to have anything special. Just lay down and just breathe. Just watch your breath.
There is incorrect breathing, so how do you breathe
Yeah.
properly?
I mean, look, it depends on what you're doing. We breathe diaphragmatically, which you'll feel that your belly sort of rises when you're breathing in, and when you breathe out, your belly will drop. When we breathe with Pilates, we're doing lateral breathing, where we are actually focused more on keeping our engagement, our abs
Core.
engaged, our core engaged. So there's different breath work for different activities. So when you're doing exercise versus when you're just sitting and talking and chatting, right? Very different. But I think one of the things is being mindful when it comes to just not just only in the breath, but in the sense of more in the calming down sense, where you're taking your mind off it. And I find that's very beneficial for when it comes to Pilates, is that just being aware. Because a lot of the time when I'm teaching, people can't even think about their day or whatever, because they have to focus on, am I breathing at the right time? Am I synchronizing the breath with the right movement? So it completely takes away anything else they may be focused on and just sort of channels into what's your body doing. Are you doing it correctly? Are you breathing while you're doing it? So a lot of times when I'm teaching
I have a
exercises,
question based on what you're saying
yeah.
now. I always say on the show, I have an issue. I always say I don't understand how people say they're going to gym.
Yes.
To take their minds off things.
Yeah.
Because for me, gym is more stressful. Because what you're saying now, it works on I'm constantly looking at the time. I said by 10 to. You know what I'm trying to say? For me, it's an angle of this is a bit stressful. I said, I'm hold this for 60 seconds. Now you're doing a plank and you only had 30 seconds and your mind is just saying,
Running.
yeah, 1, 2, 3, So how do you get to the point of thinking, this is supposed to cool me down? It's supposed to be something that's supposed to relax me. Going to the next question being, we said before the show, I want to ask you a question. As Christians, we always told yoga is something that's deeper than just
Exercise.
It has your meditation as well and stuff like that. Pilates, a lot of people ask because it's the same thing in terms of mat. I'm not saying same thing. I'm just saying visually,
there's
I see a
similarities.
mat
Yeah.
and I see somebody doing the whole angles and certain things like that. Can you first tell me what is the difference between yoga and Pilates, and where is the difference when it comes to the spirituality side of it as well?
I mean, you touching on the word spirituality, I think that's the main difference. Yoga is a Hindu spiritual practice. So, if you are a practicing Hindu, then it's fine. But if you are a Christian, then you shouldn't be practicing ancient Hindu rituals. Yeah, exactly. So that's where the distinction is drawn, because although the movement patterns, there's maybe similarities, and they focus is very different. Yoga means yoke, so it means to bind yourself to. So it's you actually.
This is so interesting.
Wow.
It's
Yeah.
interesting.
So it's a union between I forget the name of the. I don't want to say God, but it's the God in the Hindu religion or something. But you're actually yoking and becoming one with the universe. That kind of thing. It's yoga meaning yoke. And then Pilates is the name of the person who created it. His name is Joseph Pilates, and so he was like a circus person, a wrestler. He was quite a very sickly child as a kid, but he was very resilient and strong, and he focused on a lot of physical modalities, whether it's wrestling. I think it was his dad that was in the circus, or maybe it was him as well. So there's a lot of stuff that he was picking up through his childhood as well, where and then he merged different movements, and even like observing animals and how they move, and like putting this together and creating this thing. And it's also stemmed from rehabilitation. So he was in the World War. He helped soldiers who had lost limbs and things.
Okay.
He was rehabilitating them.
Okay.
And so he would create different apparatuses on like the hospital beds, or he would help them in there. And that kind of sparked his him creating Pilates equipment, because Pilates isn't just the mat. Pilates is actual Pilates equipment. So there's
those things that pull you. And
yes, exactly. So
Okay.
there's the reformer bed, and then there's the tower, and then there's the ladder barrels, and there's lots of barrels, and so there's different, a whole lot of different big machinery and barrels, like I mentioned, that actually assist you, whether it's pulleys and springs and things like that. That is where really Pilates is at. And then there's things that was done on the mat as well. So it's very different in the sense of where its root comes from. Pilates is always seen more from a rehabilitative point of view, and yoga, like I said, is a Hindu spiritual practice.
So with Pilates, I don't want to ask questions or something. I know with Pilates, and I don't know with Pilates, I'm asking. With Pilates, can we get to the point of, I want this body? Or is it more, because you're saying now rehabilitation and all those kind of things, mental, one with yourself, just time to think for yourself.
Being
and
mindful
stuff like
with your
that.
breath, yeah.
Yeah, mindful with your breath. Does it get to a point, can I do Pilates to actually get the body that I desire, or is it more a side of the breathing?
Basically you need to breathe properly regardless of what exercises you're doing. Pilates just emphasizes that in a way where you are being mindful, a little bit more mindful in how you're moving, and that you can apply like when you go and do running, or when you go and do more intense strength training, for example. But you need it, as far as wanting the body, and this is the question obviously I get a lot, is like, will Pilates like give me the tone that I want, or give me the belly that I want, all of these things? No. Will going to the gym do that? No. What will do that is a combination of things. You have to consider your nutrition, what you're putting in your body. So junk in, junk out. That's number one. So the biggest part of having what we consider the ideal body type, where you're muscular enough, or you've got the right curves in the right places, and you're looking healthy, is 80% diet and then 20% exercise. So Pilates has a function in that it is a mindful practice, but it's also about strength and flexibility. So you're strengthening your body, you're creating a flexible body, which you need on one aspect. And then there's the strength aspect as well that you have in Pilates. And then you have to couple that with like cardio as well. So you have to have a triad of exercise: flexibility, strength, and cardio. So you can't exclude one, and you can't just focus on, I'm just going to do Pilates and that's going to make me healthy all around. It's good, it's great, but you need to then add some variety.
So how soon after giving birth can you actually do Pilates?
It depends on your situation. So you normally, with myself, I always get clearance from the doctors before the person is allowed to resume.
Funny enough, a lot of people said the Kardashians' body is like that because they gave birth. I just want to know. What birth did they do? Were they in the Pilates studio?
You know what? I want to get pregnant and have that birth. Like
that birth, where your body comes out like that.
Yeah.
So no, when I was reading up, obviously we must do sometimes, read
your research.
research. And I like this topic. They must know which topic I like. So,
wait, before you get to your topic, can we just go quickly
to the comments?
To the comments. Cindy says, can we all just group together and hug and forget about all these trends? Nicole says, I think you should not allow trends to define who you are. I decided to create my own unique style and not stress myself out on the latest trends. You need to love who you are in every season in your life. Then Annie says, I agree with Nicole, embrace your own unique style. And then please read all Kimmy's.
Kimlin Jones says, Joel says, I think sometimes we only follow trends because of our own, because of our own insecurities. I was always teased for my big forehead, and even starting to believe that there's something wrong with me which needed fixing, until I became content with myself and realized that this is how God made me, and now I just shine big voorkop because it's my greatest beauty spot. God, thank you, I needed that too.
I'm doing this now, but I'm so conscious what's my forehead looking like on the screen.
The way I was teased, it took a while. Yeah, hi shame. So what I'm saying is, most times our insecurities come from childhood trauma, and chasing after worldly trends is just a way of running from it. And then Nicole says, I run a wellness group called Refined Women, and I always advise the ladies who join our challenges that they have to get the nutrition right first.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, that was Nicole van Jaren.
Thank you, guys.
That goes to what you were saying.
So when it comes to doing...
Tell us, Lorraine. Tell us.
Bring it to us.
With your partner. With
Is that Pilates? Then I'm a Pilates instructor.
With the different moves, body moves. Yeah. This article said that that's actually a very nice way to see what type of positions you guys can actually try out when it comes to sex.
I didn't expect it to go there, but okay.
Like, let's put it on the spot, why don't we? Thank you,
Does it
Lorraine.
help though? Like, because you're not sure how flexible your partner is. So during the exercises, when you exercise together, can you actually...
She's like calculating, how do I answer
You
this?
do have those couples Pilates classes. though.
Yeah,
Does
well,
it help?
I do have couples. I have couples that train together, and it becomes quite a lot of fun, but clean fun. I mean, maybe it's not something I've ever thought about, to be honest. But yeah, if you're getting more flexible, and
I'm sure if you're more flexible, you are flexible in other areas too, Lorraine. That's what she's trying to get at.
So we established that it does help in flexibility.
let's just say it helps flexibility.
Flexibility.
Those of you who know me, as Evangelique has mentioned, I absolutely hate exercise, but Pilates might be one of my things now.
Talking about her hating exercise, you find that most South Africans actually don't exercise.
I mean, it's very difficult because when being in the industry that I'm in, I always see people running, and where I'm living, and like there's people running, there's people in the gym, there's people. So I don't know on the spectrum, South Africans in general, if they're not exercising. I think, and also I come from the dance world as well, so I've always been aware of it being very active, and the circles with which I in is always active.
All my friends don't exercise.
But I think it's a trend, though. It is a trend because it became a social media trend where people started. Remember, there was a trend where people like to smoke and drink and party, whatever. And then after that, everybody went onto the health craze with, the type of foods they ate and all of that, and exercising.
With a vape.
And
yeah, I mean, I've seen that.
Yeah,
I've actually seen personal trainers do that.
So there's a lot of that going on, yeah. Sure. I mean, in this, there where we live, people are jogging all the time.
But when we stayed in Midrand, there was girls that literally walked in with full faces gym wear, took their pictures in the selfie with the big mirror on the machine. After that, they literally
So
just
it's a-
walked out.
It's a facade, this whole trend.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. But
I know.
I'm blatant about it. I'm not running from anything in my
I
life. I
love
sleep.
running.
I sleep
So what time
really well.
does one really, not that you need to do it at a specific time, is the morning or the afternoon better or both?
Either or is great, as long as you're exercising. I would like to say, like, it doesn't really matter. I found a lot of people are more wanting to get active first thing in the morning and they can get on with their day. That's more of a practical way to do it. But there are people that are afternoon people and they may be preferred later in the afternoon after work. So it just depends as long as you're exercising.
I have a question. So not too long ago, someone stopped me and she's like, "Yeah, do you like exercising?" I'm like, "Oh hell no, I don't like exercising." And she's like, "Oh, then this is for you." So it's like this exercise clinic kind of thing, right? So you go there, they put the funny stuff around your waist, and you like stand there, and there's like a whole vibration thing going. And,
that
and they
machine
say,
that Mara has.
no, it's like
because that machine makes you itch.
yeah, it does make you itch. But apparently this is like padding. It's you hooked up onto machines and stuff, and it's got you like give you a couple of hours or like an hour or two worth of exercising, like 20 minutes, and speaking about cheating the trend, like the whole BBL and whatnot, how does that stuff work though? Like, is it the same as you taking your time out and you breathing, you exercising, and because they're saying that it's working the muscles. I'm just asking for a
I
friend.
think these things do, they can activate and they can improve in your circulation and things like that. You find it even physios will use those kind of apparatuses to help you. But ultimately, the benefit from exercise has to be, it's holistic, from not just how my body looks or what I'm trying, it's got to do with how I feel. It always comes back to that feeling as not just the outside sort of shell of who you are. If you had a run, you would feel your breath,
better.
like you feel your lungs are more open. You know what I mean?
That's when the smokers feel like I need to
Yes.
stop smoking.
Yes, yes.
I don't smoke, but I feel like that all the time.
Yeah, but it's the sense of what you feel like. If you've done something that has got more flexibility, where you're stretching and you're doing Pilates, then you'll feel that sort of limberness in your body, and maybe your aches and pains will go away, and you'll be like, oh, my back that was giving me so much trouble is now not feeling so sore anymore. Okay, and that's one of the biggest complaints I get is people complaining about pain in their body, in their necks, and their backs, and they're like,
I've got back pain.
and
And neck pain.
my first question is like, do you walk? Do you do something where you actually, because walking alone will actually help
Really?
you
Do
to
you
tap.
have
I
to
will
put me on
walk
blast like
today.
this?
You
I
have
will walk
to
today.
move your body at the end of
You
the
know
day.
what? You know what? Maybe I should go for a walk.
Yeah, let's say
Maybe I should walk away from my back pains.
I'm not working, I'm unemployed, I'm poor. Not me, yeah. I'm not working, but I'm not poor. Right. At home, equipment-wise, what should I have to start Pilates at home?
Literally just a mat, just an exercise mat. You can get any, usually I would say get something that's maybe a centimeter or two thick, because you do a lot of things laying on your back, you're rolling on your body quite a lot, so you don't want to be like on a tile with a like millimeter of mats. You want to have some cushioning underneath, so you can get anything like wherever.
So
Sports shop.
advice for others that have kids
Yes.
and work and do certain things. How do you fit like just getting a good workout? Even say everything 80% is what you eat,
And
Yes.
20%
all those kind of a thing.
exercise.
If your lifestyle is so busy, how could you advise to make certain things easier to at least get this into your daily lifestyle?
Yeah, I say you look. With my business, it's at home Pilates, so it's not people going to a studio; it's me coming to their house. So
Okay.
they save in the time in that respect by me coming to them. But for somebody that's maybe that maybe that's looking, is Pilates for me? Let me do some videos, or let me kind of follow some online classes or something. I would say you have to make the decision in your mind first of all I want to, cut out time for myself. Yes, I've got kids. Yes, I've got a stressful job, whatever. How important is your health and well-being to you? That's the
Yeah.
question you have to start out with first, because it's not just a body thing or a time thing. The first thing you have to go is making the decision in your mind. thinking long term, because I'll tell you this, some of the clients that I've had that are much older, and I've worked with people that have been up to 90 years old, it's in those last years of their life that like now they want to do it so often, and they say, I wish I had started when I was younger, but I didn't have the time, and I wish because now I wouldn't be having this pain, I wouldn't have to have this surgery or my back this or whatever. It's coming to the realization that I need to actually prioritize my health. I'm saying, if you've got, the money to spend on whatever, maybe think about investing that in your health and your wellness, not just your health and the superficial look of your body, but more like the real holistic wellness of yourself. And from a monetary perspective, if money is an issue, then it's again a time issue that you need to think of. I'm going to go and research and look at some videos. You still have to make the decision and commit to making that decision in your mind. I need to carve out and do a 15-minute or a 10-minute Pilates warm-up or something. And that will, and just moving your body, because I think even with somebody like with myself, Pilates is very technical, and having an instructor there to help you through everything is extremely beneficial. But if that is not the case, just move your body as mindfully as you can is important. I think people just need to get moving, because especially coming from something like we've just had with lockdown and COVID, where we weren't moving, we were all like locked up, and we got used to that kind of way. Now when we have to move again, it's like sluggishness, and so I would say prioritize your health. It's like there's a saying, and I don't know who said this, but it's like, are you investing in your health or are you investing in your death? So think of the choices you make every day in terms of what you put into your body, whether that's physical food and even mentally what your eyes are taking in when we're talking about these trends now. And are you going to go and pin yourself up against some celebrity and try and compare yourself to the next person? What are you putting into your vessel, right? Versus what are you investing? So it comes down to that, I would say.
Thanks. Any last words?
I just think, guys, there's so much things going around, and it's so important for you to be secure in who you are as a person, and see what you value and see what's true to you. So and I think investing in your health is a very big one of that, because a lot of the times we strive to be financially independent and financially stable and all of that, but what does it matter if you've got all this money but you can't spend it because you're sick all the time, or you're not feeling well, you don't want to go out, you just want to be a couch potato? So I think it's living a well balance, and like I always say, balance is key. So if you've got that, try to balance your life, but first be secure in who you are.
Yeah.
I almost called you Anka now.
No, everything that Anka said, honestly, and I'm still with, just be content. As you said earlier on, be authentically human. Like, it's really about the personality. That's one thing you can't even go to surgery for.
Yes.
Who you are internally is what matters more than anything else. The Bible does say most beauty fades. Yes. So focus on your mental health, your personality, grow spiritually, and you shall write this much.
I just want to read Nicole's here.
Oh, that was it.
I just want to read Nicole's thingy, because it's based on something I asked just now. You have to invest in your wellness. I advise doing your exercise in the mornings. This is like for when you're busy. Get up an hour earlier and make time for yourself. Yes. Own your mornings. So
absolutely.
That is
well
one
said.
thing. It is. You can wake up an hour earlier. It's just that matter of...
Well, you have to. The decision making is, in order to wake up that hour early, it means you might need to go to bed an hour early at night.
Yeah.
So it's decision.
We struggle with sleeping early, but I'm not doing well lately. Load shedding helps.
Yes. At 8 o'clock slot.
8 o'clock. I'd agree with what you guys are saying. It's extremely easy to say, be confident. It's not easy. It's easy to say it when you're confident in who you are, but if you're at the point of not feeling good about yourself and looking at all these things because there's many a times when you're not feeling value out of life based because you don't have or whatnot, and that can bring you some sort of mental I hate myself vibes. Yeah. So I would agree with what you say, but get to the point where you find something, even if it's something that's not. And I would say exercise does actually help with that. When I do some sort of thing, when you're feeling down, it gives you
Endorphins.
some sort of worth
Yes.
because there is an end goal. So it's cheap. You don't really have to pay your arm and a leg for it, even if you're not working.
Even if you just go for a walk.
Even if you go for a walk. But at some point, it does add, I did something today.
Yes.
And that's the key, I find, to feeling good about yourself. Just do something, even if it's one thing a day that you can take off your to-do list, just
Yeah.
to feel good about yourself.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for joining us.
It's a pleasure.
We
Thank you
had
so much for
fun.
having me.
Shame, where can
exciting.
people find you?
All right, so my business is called Pilates at Home, and yeah, if you just Google me, you'll typically find
Your
Pilates.
handle on Insta?
It's pilatesathome.co. That's the handle on Instagram, and yeah, so we basically just do at-home Pilates training, where our trainers come to you, or also online as well. So you've got online options. We even have sessions private. So we focus more on private sessions with clients at their homes, and even offer 30-minute sessions. So if you have a time crunch, we have 30-minute online sessions that you can also join.
Oh, well done. Well done, Candace.
Thank you so much for joining us for an episode of Gapfest. We spoke BBL and we spoke Pilates, how to do it the right way, mentally, physically. So thank you so much for joining us. All those that stayed to the very end, we appreciate you.
Thank
Those
you
coming
so
back,
much.
if you're not watching live, thank you guys so much for the love and the support, and we will see you guys next week.
Bye.